rescued her. We got her through. Unfortunately, y'all probably weren't able to see it because I'm feeling really upset, really defeated, really aggravated, really pissed off right now. A lot of emotions, and none of them are positive right now. I can't wait till my brother gets here and we get out to the restaurant and I start putting some beers in my belly because I'm super you know what, matter of fact, here's to y'all, baby. I need something to calm me down, make me feel better, man.
Marines are setting up a rally point at the ambassador residence.
This is Captain Price, SAS. We're working our way to you.
Roger that, Captain. My Marines will keep an eye out for you.
Gary, we're leaving.
Roger that.
There. Watch on Sula.
Captain.
What's the plan?
Link up with the Marines at the southern compound.
Where's the compound?
Not far. The alley across the street.
Let's get there.
All right, Gary. Open it up.
With what? Oh.
Get the gates up.
Here. Thank you, Sergeant. You saved my life.
This key card may save your life.
Respect us.
They're here.
Move it.
In the street. Watch the road.
Thank you for the love, Crimson. Yo. Seriously. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm so frustrated right now, dude. Like, I'm so frustrated right now. Cheers to you, brother. Love you, man. Hopefully this makes me feel better, though.
Echo 3-1, you're clear to move up.
Raj, coming to you.
What's the movement?
يلا المكان مو آمن هون.
We're compromised. Reposition, now!
There's the compound.
Garrett, use the key card. Get us in.
This is Bravo 6, SAS.
Infantry gate.
Thank you for all the love, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Secure room in the residence. Follow me. What's left to do? Stand guard. Watch him.
We will be back for him. I will be gone, brother, but we will meet again.
Johnson, this is 06. I need air support and I need it now.
Negative 06. Can't risk another bird.
Kate, get me something. We'll be fighting the whole bloody city.
The only drone in range needs a refuel. Can't stay up too long.
Let's get it here. 06 out.
Give me my. Thank you.
Go north. Cover that roof. Kyle, Farah, you and me. Roger, Captain. Roger.
Captain, Marines have got the embassy covered if they follow.
Nothing out there, sir.
They'll be back. They'll come from the other side.
How do you know?
Because I would.
He's right. Reposition across the roof. Now. Dig in. I want a line of sight across that field. Get eyes on the car. Straight across the field.
Jet 12, Cafe. Multiple military age males.
Unarmed. Stay with them.
2 more.
Potter,
They're messengers.
looking our way. No bueno.
Track them.
On it. Someone's got him spooked.
Check right. 2 more.
Bugging out.
This ain't right.
Yep, something's wrong.
We got more unknowns far into the field probing.
Fighters. They're here for us.
They're moving on us.
Shit, lost him.
Alex?
All quiet.
Hang on, I've got movement. Midfield, 11 o'clock.
Where?
Negative, just the wind.
Hold your mouth.
They're watching us, Captain.
Another word, and I'll send you out there.
Yes, sir.
They're targeting the lights.
What do you mean? What are you trying to upgrade?
Quiet. Launch a flare. We'll pick them up in the light.
Illumination rounds. Load us up, Kyle. Sergeant, fire a flare from the launcher on the roof. Fire in the hole!
Got movers back in the field.
Engage! Engage!
Hit him! How's that not hitting him? Finally.
Keep your head down. Where the hell are they? I don't see shit out there. See where they're shooting from.
Someone set up a flare.
That field's full.
Yeah. We need to hold them off or we'll get overrun.
Just the gaming setup and gear, you know? Oh, yeah, I feel you, bro. Same, man. Same. But enough about me. Today is about you. Nah, man. It's not about me. It's not about me. I'm doing better now since the stream seems to not be dropping yet. And I say yet.
It's not over. There'll be more.
Give me a round count.
Woo!
Getting low.
Don't
Almost out.
jinx
Check your
it.
shots.
I know, right? I know.
Make them count.
What do they want me to do? I didn't hear what he said. Oh, defend the compound.
2 trucks moving south far into the field.
Copy.
Probably get the fuck out of Dodge.
They're repositioning.
What do you mean, friendly family again?
Get down!
Oof! Damn! Oof! Where's that AR I just seen right here? Damn! Right here. I can't really see. Yo, I can't see crap. Oh my lord! What are we supposed to do? Oh yeah, I'm family friendly. I'm sorry. And it didn't send through or anything. Oh yeah. I'm family friendly, my man. Crap! Oh my lord, what am I supposed to do? You missed me, I'm right here. Oh, yeah, but I'm stuck on something. It's hurting my viewership too much to be to not be family friendly. When I when I cut out kids, that's cutting out a huge chunk of viewers, you know? Crap. Damn. It's alright. But yeah, if I'm not family friendly, it's just cutting out a huge chunk of viewers. Following, you know, and they could be chatting it up and helping with viewership and everything. So that's why I went back to family friendly.
All stations, no movement in the field. Go black.
I move to the north building for resupply.
Drink to that.
We'll set security.
Roger.
Yes and no. Just depending where your audience demographic that watches the content in general. No, you're not understanding. So if you're if you're not family friendly, then kids who are not 18 or older cannot watch you, regardless, no matter what, right? They just can't. If you are family friendly, anybody can watch you of all ages. There's no restrictions, there's nothing blocking, there's nothing, you know. It's just business wise, it's smarter, which is why Ninja and most really big streamers, or a lot of them, are family friendly, because literally the site, if you put your legit birthday when you set up your account, it will block you from mature content. You can't see it on the site. So you're literally, it's not about demographic or anything. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just literally talking about who my content is available to on the site, you know. And that's just it. You're family friendly. Anybody can watch you. The site is not gonna block anybody from being able to enter your content, right? But if you're mature, then kids who aren't 18 or older are not gonna be able to see it. So you're cutting out that huge chunk. And then especially since I play Fortnite a lot, the demographic of that game in particular is younger, you know, younger kids and, you know, teenagers and stuff like that. And so, you know, by cutting them out, adults don't want to watch me play Fortnite, but I love Fortnite. It's probably my most favorite game, you know. So like when I play it, I need to have younger people come in, because adults, 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-olds, they're not gonna want to watch me play Fortnite. You know what I mean? There's some, but the majority of those viewers are gonna be under, you know, like they're gonna be like teenagers, you know. So it's just a smarter move in general for everybody. It's smarter because you're just opening the door to everybody to be able to enter into your content, you know. And by putting your stream as mature, you're literally closing the door on a huge chunk, and a majority of a big portion of people who watch live streams are youth. They're teenagers and stuff, you know what I mean? I'm a rare breed. People my age, like literally, like people I went to high school with and people who are my age and stuff, like with a couple of rare exceptions, they don't understand what I do. They're like, you play video games online? Like, what? Like, why do you do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you famous? Oh, are you famous yet? You know what I mean? Like, they make jokes. They don't get it. They don't understand. The people who do understand live streaming are people who are in their youth, because they're growing up with it. They're growing with it, and it's at their moment in life where live streaming is the biggest that it's ever been. So it's something normal to them. You know, it's not something that they have to learn and they have to figure out how to grasp. They just get it because it's always been there for them. So it's a lot harder. You know what I mean? The only people, like with the exception of maybe a couple, like maybe 2 people, literally, maybe 3 people, 3 or 4 people that I know personally, that I went to school with and things like that, who really understand live streaming, that are my age, that's really it. The rest of the people who I know, they don't get it. They don't know. The only other people who are around my age that understand like streaming are other streamers. They're other people who also stream. You get what I'm saying? And so it's easy to think that when your world is mainly just other streamers, and most of your friends, most of the people you interact with and stuff are other streamers. And of course you're going to connect with other streamers that are around your age, and you're going to think that, you know, no, it's just everybody, you know, age doesn't matter, but it does. It does. People my age, people in their, you know, mid to late 20s and stuff, with a few exceptions and the people that we know because we're streamers, so we've connected with streamers. Most of those people don't get it. They don't understand it. They don't see the point. They think it's a waste of time. They're not interested in watching it. When they try to watch it, they don't get it. They're used to edited type of content, TV, movies, and YouTube content. You know what I mean? They're not used to live, unedited, raw, you know what I mean? Like in the moment. They're not understanding that, you know, we're trying to build a community and that it's like more of a hangout and you should be in the chat connecting with each other and things like that. Like, they don't understand. The majority of people who understand streaming are like in their early 20s and under of the population. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. That's just the fact of it. So like when you get huge, when you get big, really big, or, you know, big enough where you feel comfortable, you can go mature because you have your people and you're not really worried about, you know, your numbers and stuff anymore. You know, you have your viewers and you have your community and, you know what I mean? And things are consistent for you. At that point, you want to go mature? Cool. That's what a lot of really big streamers do. But before they got really big, watch their older videos. They say frick. And they say, oh, shoot. And they say, dang it. You know what I mean? They're not saying the dams and the fucks and the shits and the, you know what I mean? They're not, because they're trying to grow and they're smart. They don't want to limit the ability for as many people to be available to as many people as possible, because it's just not smart when you're small. You barely have any followers, any subscribers, you barely get any views. It's just not a smart move to quarantine yourself off to a huge group of people, especially when that group of people is the majority of people who actually understand what you're doing, you know what I mean, and would be the most active and the most available for what you're doing, you know, and the most interested in what you're doing. It's just you know, business sense, you know, which is why I was growing so fast on Mixer, is because when a lot of the people that we know were really mature, I was family friendly, you know, and you've seen it in the people who would come in my streams and the people that were in my chat, and then, you know, the people who would want to play with me while I was streaming. They were always younger, you know. It was hardly ever, other than the friends that I made, it was always younger people, you know. It's just the nature of streaming, man. It's a newer thing, you know. Streaming is still young. It's in its infancy. It's getting bigger. It's growing, and it's becoming one of the biggest and most lucrative industries. But, you know, it's still young. It's still new. And so you got to understand, the people who get it are still new, which means they're still young, you know. And there are some people who were young when they got interested in streaming when it first started, but that's not a lot, you know what I mean? It's not a huge group of people. Most people got interested in live streaming after it started blowing up already, and those people are younger people, you know. It just is what it is. I think it just comes down to personal preference for whom wants to watch whatever it may be. Yeah, okay, you're missing a big point, right? You have a certain, okay, I'm drinking a beer right now. People 21 and older are the only people allowed to drink beer. Corona is not going to waste their time marketing themselves to an audience that's younger than 21, because it would be a waste of time. Okay? You market to who is interested in your product, and our product is a stream. All right, so the people who are interested in live streaming are younger. The majority of a mass majority, the population of people who are 30 something and older who watch live streaming is a very small percentage of the people who are interested in live streaming amongst the population. So It just makes sense. You market to who can be there for your product. You know what I mean? That's just what you do. Chuck E. Cheese, a better example. Chuck E. Cheese, or we'll just use Chuck E. Cheese because I know it's big and it's national. Chuck E. Cheese is marketed toward kids. Well, adults weren't really having much fun at Chuck E. Cheese, right? So what do? They implemented the ability to drink beer. And then they started marketing that. And they started marketing, yo, you can have beers. You can buy them by the bottle. You can buy them by the glass. You can buy it by the pitcher. You could come here, let your kids play, get your drink on, chill, have a good time, get your kids out of their hair, let them run around while you chill and you sip on some nice brew. Why? Because they open the door to everyone, because business-wise, that's just smarter, right? This is a place that's for kids, right? But if you always advertise that it's just for kids, you're blocking out a huge group of people. You know what I mean? You're not making it enticing for the parents, which the parents can take their kids to the park. The parents can take their kids to Knott's Berry Farm. There's a lot of places the parents could take their kids to Shakey's, and the kids could play video games there, and they could drink alcohol at Shakey's. They could drink beer at Shakey's. You get what I'm saying? So they open the door to everyone. Yo, this is the place to be a kid, Chuck E. Cheese, but we got beer for you adults. Come through. Kids having a good time. You're having a good time. Everyone's having a good time. You know what I mean? And it's smarter. It's better marketing. You're opening your door to more people instead of quarantining a whole group of people off, because you need those adults to bring the kids. You know what I mean? And it's kind of the same thing with the streaming in a weird way. It can be for everyone. Like Chuck E. Cheese can be for everyone. But you got to understand, the mass majority of the population that understands and is interested in live streaming is youthful. All right? 20, maybe mid 20, early 20s most likely and below. That's the mass majority of the population that's interested in live streaming. Once you get above the early 20s, especially into the 30s, you're really narrowing down, because that's a very small population of people that are interested in live streaming, right? And you got to understand these things, because streaming is a business. And when you start streaming, that's what you're doing, is you're starting a business. You're the business. Your stream is the business. And if you really wanted to grow, you really wanted to get out there, you've got to you've got to be business minded, right? And again, once your stream has grown and you're comfortable with where you're at and what you have, where something is consistent to a level that you're happy and you don't mind staying there, and you know, your growth, of course you always want to grow, but you don't mind if your growth slows down. At that point, if you want to close it off a little bit and more target focus your marketing, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, then you can more target focus what you're doing. But it's in the beginning, you don't want to do that. You know, in the beginning, you want to kind of guerrilla market. Guerrilla market, it's guerrilla marketing. Anybody and everybody. This thing needs to get off the ground. This thing needs to get going. So I need to get as many people. I need to attract as many people to my business as possible. Because guess what's going to happen if you don't? For most people, you're going to give up. You're going to give up. You're going to quit. And you really have nobody to blame but yourself. Because you're trying to limit your business, right? You're limiting your business. And then you're feeling bad about the fact that your business isn't getting where you want it to as fast as you want it to. You know what I mean? And things like that. And you're really hurting yourself and you're hurting your business. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to do that. I know I'm going off on a tangent, really deep, like rant right now. But I think it's really important to understand that, because you know, I've had a lot of streamer friends that a lot of them are, some of them, not a lot of them, but some of them are giving up. A lot of that had so much potential, and I was really close with, and I really liked their content. I really liked them as people. They were good people. I felt like they were deserving, but they want to be edgy and they want to be mature and they want to be this and that. And they're not getting anywhere. So they're starting to give up. Either they're giving up, or they're starting to doubt themselves, or they're still going at it, but they're getting really, really frustrated. You know what I mean? They're getting frustrated with the fact, I don't understand why other people are growing faster than me. I don't get it. Like, it just, I don't understand. I do, and I'm trying to explain to you why. You know what I mean? And I've tried to explain to these people why, and then they kind of get mad, or they think I'm trying to, I don't know what, but they kind of like, nah, man, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna change. It's not changing who you are. Cuss words are who you are. You're fuck, you're shit, you're bitch, you're, you know what I mean? Like, your dick, your ass, that's what you are. You know what I mean? That's not what you are. You're you. You're a person. You don't have to cuss to be who you are. I'm 100% genuine with you guys, right? I'm cussing right now because I'm just trying to make a point. But in real life, do I cuss? Yeah, I cuss a lot. You know what I mean? But does that make me fake if I don't cuss in my business? No, it doesn't make me fake. It makes me real, because I want my business to grow. I want as many people here as possible. So I'm opening the door for everybody, and I'm not trying to limit myself, because I want what I'm doing to get out there. I want to attract as many people here as possible. And I'm not going to sit here and lie about that like a lot of people do. Let me tell you something. A lot of these streamers, when you watch them and they say, I don't care about the numbers, I don't worry about that, it doesn't mean anything to me. And so they sit there, they're edgy, they're playing, you know, vulgar music on their stream, you know, and things like that. And then, but then behind the scenes, when you talk to them behind the scenes, they do care about their numbers, and they're hating on other streamers that they think don't deserve the numbers they have, because they're getting more viewers than them and more followers than them and bigger communities than them. And then they're secretly hating. And I know this because these people come to me to hate, because I'm an easy person to talk to. You know, I don't tell no secrets. I keep things to myself. You know, I don't put no names out there unless they deserve it and things like that. So like, people tell me things and I see people's true colors. I'm really good at seeing people's true colors. And this is why I've exposed people for you guys, because I'm really good at drawing out people's true colors. And these streamers, I will say 98% of them who tell you they don't care about the numbers, they're not worried about it, I don't even look at that, they're bullshitting you. They do care, but they don't want to admit to themselves that the reason they're not doing better is their own fault, because they want to sit there and be like, I'm not going to sit here and be fake. But you are being fake, because you don't want to admit to people or to yourself that you want your channel to grow. I want my channel to grow. I want my community to grow. I want more viewers. I want more people active in the Discord servers and things like that on social media. I want more people watching my videos. I want more people in the chat. Like, I want that. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why creators act like it's a bad thing to want a lot of people to view your content. That's what you're doing. You're making content. Aren't you trying to make good content? Don't you want people to view your content? Like, isn't that what you're doing it for? So why do you sit here and act like you don't care if people view your content? Yes, you do. You're only lying to yourself. And if anybody believes you when you say that, they're not very bright, in my opinion. They're not very smart people, because why would you be doing it if you weren't trying to get people to watch it? Why would you be streaming? Why would you be creating video content if you weren't looking for people to view that content? It doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not saying to sit there and worry about it and stress on it. I don't stress on it. You know, I want it, but I'm not worried about it. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a different thing. It's a completely different thing to want it, but to worry about it. Those are two different things. I'm not stressed out about it. I'm not over here slitting my wrist over the fact that I don't have as many followers and as many viewers, and I'm not growing as fast as I would prefer. You know what I mean? I'm not over here freaking drinking myself silly in sorrow, you know, and things like that over it. But I am constantly thinking about what I can do to better what I'm doing. My art, my creation, my content, my videos, my streams, whatever you want to call it. I am constantly thinking and developing and implementing things. You guys see, the stream is always changing, or I'm always adding to it or subtracting from it, you know, or changing and transforming it, because I want it to be as good as I can get it to be, because I want as many people up in here watching this stuff and rocking with us here in the People Party as possible. I do. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and lie about that, because I'm being real with you. But the fact that if I cuss, it's just going to kind of inhibit that a lot more than you think, doesn't make somebody fake. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not being the real me. I'm being the genuine you. I never sugarcoat things. I never tell you anything if I don't believe it. Nothing comes out of my mouth that didn't go through my heart first. I'm always speaking from my heart. I'm always trying to give you guys the truth as sincerely as I know it to be. And I'm always being myself. I'm never being any different than what I am or who I am. The words that I use to do it don't define anything. They don't change anything. I don't think that they make the content worse or better. I honestly feel like when people are super vulgar, I'm not saying every once in a while to just be like, ah, shit, you know, that's fine, whatever. But when people are like super vulgar, like overly aggressive with their profanity and stuff like that, I don't like that. That turns me off from a stream, and I'm just like, ew, like, this person's not entertaining. They're just sitting here trying to be as vulgar and offensive as possible. That's not funny. That's not entertaining. That's not clever. You know what I mean? In my opinion, at least, you know, it doesn't seem genuine to me. In my opinion, sometimes I watch people and it feels like they're trying to be overly offensive and overly vulgar to a degree that it's not sincere, and they're not actually being themselves. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people who like that. A lot of people do like that, older people. But again, those are not the type of people. They want to watch YouTube videos that are edited, easy to digest, short, you know, 16, 15 minute, you know, 12, 13 minute videos. They're not trying to watch 2 hours, 3, 4 hours of a stream. They're not even trying to watch an hour of a stream. Most of them don't even want to sit for a half an hour to watch a stream. Those are the people you want to market your stream to? No, I want people in my stream for at least an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, the entire stream if possible. But those people are young, early 20s and below. Those are the people who are going to sit in your stream for hours, who are going to understand what you're doing, who are going to understand that it's live, who are going to understand you're not going to win every game, who are going to understand that there's going to be hiccups and issues and problems, and there's going to be moments during the stream that aren't that exciting, because this is live, this is raw, this is not edited to be as entertaining as possible, right? Older people don't get that. They don't understand it. They're not interested in it. They don't care about it. A lot of them are in denial about the fact that they like video games. A lot of adults. Dude, I have so many friends my age that act like they don't like video games. But then they come to my house and what are they doing? They're on the sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like they're not, and then they have girlfriends, they have wives, they have this and that. Their girlfriends and their wives act like they're stupid, they're dorks, they're nerds. They don't care about them. They don't want to spend time with them if they're sitting there watching streams. And so they're not going to watch your stream. They're not. So I recommend being smarter and not being a mature content streamer until you get to a level that you can afford to quarantine your content off. But until you get to that content, I would recommend being family friendly, because you're gonna get a lot more people. You're gonna get a lot more people in. And I'm not that family friendly. You know what I mean? I'm family friendly by default. I just don't cuss. That's it. But I'm not gonna, I got stressed out. I need a beer. If you happen to be, you know, under 18 and you come here and I'm drinking a beer, I didn't invite you here. You know what I mean? Don't tell me your age. I don't want to know it. Hey. You feel me? You feel me? Yeah, man. I hope it makes sense. I hope it gets through. You know me. I'm always trying to... I guess I'm just a preachy person. I just like to talk. I talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? I talk a lot. Especially when I get a little alcohol in me. Oh, man. Oh, brother. I could keep you up until 4:35, 6 in the morning. Just talking about stuff, man. I love talking. That's why I did the Thoughtcast, the Thursday Thoughtcast, because I love talking, man. I love chatting. I have strong opinions, strong points of views. I love hearing other people's opinions and points of views. You know, I'm very strong on my opinions, but I also have an open mind. You wouldn't know that unless you had like a legit conversation with me. If you just listened to me talk, you would think that I'm just stuck in my ways and my mind is just made up, because I do hold my opinions very strongly, but I have an open mind and I love hearing different angles, you know what I mean, and other sides of the story and things, because I like to form my opinion around as much information as possible, you know. And I'm the type of person, I like knowing things. I don't know, I've always been like that since I was young. I like to know things. I like to be right. I don't like being wrong. So I love eating information. Feed me information. You know what I mean? I love that. If you're right, if I feel like where you're coming from is right, then my point of view will change. Or at least it will be tested, and I'll, you know what I mean, I'll go ahead and I'll weigh all that information out with the information I already have, and it's very likely that you will transform the way I see things. It's very possible, because I do have an open mind. But again, I'm not fake. So if I feel like you're mistaken, or you're just not 100% on the money, hitting the nail on the head, I'm going to try to correct you. Not because I just want to be right. Not because I just want to make a point. Not because I just want people to think how I think and feel how I feel. Not at all. I never want that. But because I want you to be right. I want you to have the correct information as much as I can offer it. You know what I mean? And just as much as I have an open mind and I'm willing to hear your points, I want you to also have an open mind with me and be willing to hear my points, because if we do that, that's how we come to truth, right? We have these facts over here, then we have these facts over here. If you base your opinion just on this, then you're going to be wrong, because you don't have this. And if you base your opinion just on this, you're going to be wrong because you don't have this. It's not until we all open up and come together and bridge that gap that we get to ultimate truth. That's the only way you can get to truth. You have to gather all the information. You have to have an open mind about it, and you have to be honest with yourself. Because when you do have all the information and you deny that information, you're only denying yourself of the truth. You're only lying to yourself. You're hurting yourself. You know what I mean? And then you're going around and spreading more misinformation to other people, steering them in the wrong direction and effectively hurting them for whatever the situation might be. when you could be helping people if you just had more of an open mind and were more willing to accept more information to get to more of a sincere truth. That way you can help still steer people more in the right direction, and you could be helping people, and then that person can go and help somebody, and then that person, and we can effectively help the world to understand each other and stop all this damn. Now I'm getting into another thing, but it just all leads, you know what I mean? It's just, when I ramble, I just start rambling. It all leads into another thing, you know what I mean? But I just feel like that's very important in the world today. We need more of people talking and people coming to mutual understandings, and not just saying, well, this is what I think, this is how I feel. I don't care about what you feel or think. Cut it off, close it off. Don't even talk to me. I don't even want to hear it. I already know what I know. I already know, like, that's childish, that's immature, and that doesn't help anybody. And I feel like that's why the world is so torn apart sometimes, especially right now. That's what I love about you. I love your rants. Thank you, Krim. The only thing I dislike is when I get into a conversation with someone that constantly interrupts. Bro, I know, that's so annoying. That's annoying. That annoys me so much too. Because if you were in front of me right now and we were having a conversation, I would let you finish. This is something that me and Diane argue about all the time. Or not argue, but I scold her about. I don't want to say I yell at her. She'll probably tell you I yell at her. But I scold her about when we're having a discussion, and I let her make her point. And if I don't agree with it, I try to cut in with my counterpoint, right? When she's done making her point, I start coming in with my counterpoint, and she'll cut me off before I'm done. And I'm like, what the, bro, don't cut me off. I let you talk for an hour. Now it's my turn. You cut me off after 10 minutes? Like, no, bro, I'm not going to give you 30 minutes of talk time and never butt in, and you're going to cut me off after 3 minutes. That's, no, you let me finish, because I let you finish. When I'm done, then you can rebuttal. You feel me? Then you can come. This is the debate. All right? We debating. Master debating. I feel so rude and disrespectful when I want to get a say. Yep. Big time. Give my opinion or statement about whatever is being talked about. Just the small things. Yeah, man. No, I completely agree with you, bro. Because that's a huge pet peeve of mine. Because I try my best. I'm not going to say I'm never guilty. But I definitely try my best to always let the person I'm talking to finish what they're saying before I cut in. You know what I mean? Because I do feel it is rude and disrespectful, in my opinion as well. I feel the same way. It's rude and disrespectful to cut somebody off. And I'll even tell people when they're not talking to me. Like, sometimes I'll have a friend that's talking to somebody else, or even Diane, and yo, let them finish. What the hell? Like, what? They're trying to talk, bro, and you're just cutting them off. Let them finish first. Like, you know, and I'll defend somebody else who's like trying to talk, and you know, my buddy or whoever is associated with me is cutting them off, and let them finish. Come on, like, chill, like, wait your turn. You know what I mean? Get in line, cause I'm next. No. All right, let's get back to the gameplay. Oh man, I'm a good rambler, huh?
Stay low and do not leave this building. Sergeant, load up, come and see me.
Roger.
Bravo 6, this is Jaguar 4-1. On station for close air, guns hot.
Copy 4-1, stand by for targets.
First inbound for close air.
One drone, low fuel.
Roger, actual.
This.
We have a drone on station. I need you to mark targets.
Okay.
Roll up.
I like, if we're being honest here, I may do it, but I'll always apologize. Yeah, same. Exactly, Krim. I will do it sometimes, but when I do it, I apologize. You know what I mean? I do apologize. Sometimes I'll cut in when I think they're done talking, and then I'll realize they weren't. I'll be like, oh shoot, my bad. I thought you were done. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, you know? And then I feel like crap because when you, hold on, I'm gonna grab a beer. But then I feel like crap because whenever you do that, the person is always like, no, it's okay, you go ahead. And it's like, no, seriously, really, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, it's cool, I was done. When you know they weren't done, and now you feel like a piece of crap because you completely cut them off, and now they're being like super nice about it and letting you go even though they didn't finish making their point. Or, you know, whatever it is. And I feel like crap after that. I don't even want to keep talking after that. I just want to be like, no, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm just going to sit here and shut up now. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. I like being sincere and genuine. Me too. I try my best. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some angel because I'm not. But I do try my best. And you guys can bet, if you just pay attention, a lot of people think that the way I am, you know, I'm a devoted, very strong Christian. And I am always trying to be the best person I can be. I'm trying my best always to be the best that I can be as good as I can be as sincere, be as genuine. And a lot of people view that as fake. And I lose a lot of people because of that. I don't hold on to friends because of how genuine I try to be. That's crazy, right? But I always try to make the right decisions, have the right assumptions, you know, and do the best for myself while still understanding other people and, you know, try not to be quick to judgment against other people and things like that. But, you know, I'm not innocent, you know what I mean? I'm not innocent, but I try. And it's crazy how many people see that and think that it's fake or think that it's a negative thing just in any way. They just think that it's negative somehow, some way. They view it as negative, and it's like, bro, like, for instance, and like Diane knows that I'm a sincere, genuine person. That's why Diane loves me. That's why she sticks with me through everything. She's always by my side. The last 3.5 years or so, almost 4 years that she's been in my life, she's been my most loyal, my most sincere, my most genuine companion in life. You know what I mean? I love her, dude. She's the best person I ever met. But she has a best friend, right? She would get mad if or I don't know if she would get mad actually, but anyways, she has a best friend, and her best friend, I'm her best friend. I'm completely honest with Diane, even if it's gonna hurt her feelings. You know, I let her know I'm not just trying to be a dick. I'm not just trying to be mean, but this is the truth. Like, this is the facts. And I tell her about her friend. Her friend is not that. You know, her best friend, I tell her all the time, like, she's not your best friend, bro. I'm your best friend. Her best friend has done things, and her best friend is more out for herself than she is out for Diane. This best friend wasn't even there for Diane when Diane's sister passed away. Why? Because Diane's friend had a new boyfriend who's a piece of crap, beats her, abuses her physically and mentally, and was more worried about holding on to that POS instead of being there for her best friend when she's mourning the death of her sister. Fuck that guy, bro. This is your best friend who you've known for years. You've known this guy, what, a matter of days, weeks, months? You've known her for years. You guys went to school together, graduated together, all that stuff. Like, but this guy is more important to you? She just lost her sister, who you also know, who was your best friend. You met Diane through her. And you don't even go to the hospital when she passed. You don't even go to the wake. You don't even go to, which is the open casket, for anybody who calls it open casket instead of a wake. You don't go to the funeral. You don't go one day while Diane is mourning for months to check on her, to hold her while she's crying, to let her cry on your shoulder, to tell her it's gonna be okay, to wipe her tears. Nothing, but you're her best friend? I've told Diane so many times, that's not your best friend, bro. You've known her a long time. You've known her longer than any of your other friends, which Diane's like me. She doesn't have many other friends. But listen, and this, please, peoples, understand this. A best friend, friends, people who matter in your life, it has nothing to do with the amount of time they've been in your life. What matters is the amount they've done for you throughout the time that they've been in your life. Okay, somebody can have been in your life for 2 months and somebody else could have been in your life for 5 years. It doesn't mean the person who's you've known for 5 years is your best friend over the person who you've only known for 2 months. If that person who's been with you for 5 years can't even be there for you when you lose a sibling because they're more worried about a relationship, that is not your best friend. You know what I mean? That is not your best friend. I'm sorry, but it's not, you know? Well, all I ask is don't do me dirty. You feel me? Oh, bro, I don't let nobody do me dirty. I don't know if it's as I'm getting older, but it's become real easy for me. As soon as I see people's true colors, as soon as somebody shows me that they're not riding for me 100%, because I ride for everybody 100%. Yo, if you're my friend, if you're my buddy, if you're somebody in my life that I care about in any way, I'm going to do for you whatever I can 100%. You're going to get 100% of me. No less. 100% of Deco. Honest, sincere, genuine, all of me. I will always do. I might not have much, but at least you know that I will do whatever I can for you, whenever I can. And I'm always going to be real with you. Always. And if you do me dirty, that's it. Because I would never do you dirty. If you're my friend, you're my buddy, you're my pal, you're my whatever, I'm never gonna do you dirty. That's one thing. I don't do people dirty, right? I'm no angel either, right? I'm no angel, but I'm no devil. Do me dirty is the you're done. That's it. You're cut. That's it. It's over between us, because I would have never done you like that. Never. I would have never done you like that. You know what I mean? And that's being 100% sincere. You know? And this is the reason why me and Diane are so close, because I realized through our time together that we've known each other that she's the most genuine person in my life. And she knows also that I'm the most genuine person in her life, even though I tell her hard truths, even when she doesn't want to hear it, even when it pisses her off sometimes, you know, because later she calms down, and even though I told her the truth and it bothered her, she understands later that I was just telling her the truth, and nobody else was going to tell her that because they were afraid to hurt her feelings. You know, and that's why I'm a good friend, is because I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings, because when you need to hear the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth, because I want the best for you. I care about you, and I want you to do the right things. I want you to make the right decisions. I want you to understand situations that you might be blinded to, you know, like with Diane and her friend. She knows this girl is not her best friend, but she can't admit it to herself. So she needs like somebody like me who's gonna tell her, you know. And there was a moment there where Diane understood, and she, you know, she stopped being her friend. But Diane is a very sensitive and sentimental and forgiving person, so she forgave her, and you know, they're besties again, you know. But deep down, Diane knows, you know. And when I tell her, that's not your best friend, bro, like, that's not your best friend, dude, she kind of like whatever, rolls her eyes, but she knows at the end of the day, she knows that I'm right, and she knows I'm telling her the truth, and she knows that I'm only telling her the truth because I care, you know, and that I'm never gonna steer her the wrong way. I'm never gonna lie to her. I'm never gonna tell her what she wants to hear just for the sake of trying to protect her feelings. I'm always gonna tell her the truth. And a lot of people don't appreciate or respect that. A lot of people get mad about that because the truth does often hurt, and people don't want to hear the truth. People just want to be told, it's all okay, baby. No, you're perfect. You're perfect. No, you're not. You're not perfect. None of us are perfect. You know what I mean? We're human. We're just human. We're all flawed. All right? None of us are perfect. And if you have somebody in your life who claims to want the best for you, but they're always telling you that everything is fine and you're never wrong and everything with you is perfect, everything is just okay, it's all copacetic, they don't really want the best for you, you know. And you know, Diane understands that, and Diane's the same way with me, you know. The difference is Diana understands and appreciates it, and I understand and appreciate that, you know, because I don't want somebody in my life who's just going to be a yes man, is just going to lie to me, and is never going to help me be on the right track, you know. We all need guidance sometimes. We all need help. That's what friends are for. Family is for. You know what I mean? Because we're not perfect. We're flawed, and sometimes we need input. Or sometimes we're just in denial about certain things, and we need somebody to just hit us with the truth to open our eyes to what we already know that we just don't want to admit to ourselves. You get what I'm saying? And that's one thing I love about Diane, and that's what I try to be for you guys, is that person who's going to know, listen, it's not okay, or whatever it is, open your eyes, here's the truth, here it is. It might hurt your feelings, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? This is what it is. And you need to hear it. Especially if nobody else is going to tell you. Somebody's got to tell you. And you better believe that somebody's going to be me. But I mean it with the best intentions. I always do. And please, always tell me the truth as well. You don't need to sugarcoat with me. You know what I mean? I'm not that sensitive. You don't need to, you know, be afraid to hurt my feelings or tell me something I don't think I want to hear. Or, you know, like, as long as you're telling me the truth and you're trying to, you know, keep me on the right path and open my eyes to some truth, you know, then I'm never going to be mad or upset about that, you know. Of course, like I said, maybe in the moment, you, me, whoever might not want to hear it in the moment, but like Diane, I'm also the type of person who will still take it, and then I'll chew on it, and then usually eventually I'll be like, you know what, they were right. They were right. They were completely right. You feel what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You get me. I thought I was here the whole time. Well, hey, you got a friend of me. I know, Crimson. I know, man. And you got a friend of me too, brother. You already know that. I know you're my friend, man. I could tell you were a good, genuine person right away. I say I don't try to judge people. I'm very judgmental. I judge everybody right away. I'm good judge of character too. What I mean by I try not to judge people is I try not to hold people to my judgments. Mainly because, I mean, I'm wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? So I do judge people, but I try not to hold those judgments over people. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know. And right away, I felt like you were like a really good, genuine, sincere-hearted person. I could see your spirit, Krim. I could see it just irradiating off your body, you know. I felt them vibes, baby. When I first met you on Mixer, I love the way you elaborate and express your views / feelings on things. You're very enthusiastic and a smart cookie, my dude. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot, because that's a big factor of what I do that I feel is very important. And I'm always going to be that way. It's never going to stop. Like you see, I don't even know how long we've been talking, and the game's just sitting here on pause. But I feel like the gaming for me has always been background. You know, streaming for me, the way that I see it, the way that I want it to be in my channel, in my community, like the picture that I'm trying to paint is not just I play video games. You know, I'm trying to make it deeper than that. I'm trying to have a stronger connection than that. I'm trying to offer more than just video games. I'm not that great at the video game. I love playing. Don't tell me why I'm still trash, even though I've been playing video games my whole life and I'm still freaking garbaggio. If I tried to make my content all about the gaming, it would never work because I'm not great at the game. I love them. I play video games all day. Even when I'm not on stream, I'm playing video games most of the time. I love playing video games. I always have. But I'm just not great. So if I made my content about just gaming, I don't think it would ever get anywhere. I think this is, you know, what's even more important is the connecting with you guys, the discussions with you guys, the sharing, like I said earlier, the points of views and our thoughts and our feelings, and being honest and open and sincere and genuine with each other, you know, as a community. And that's what the Decode Loves community is supposed to be all about. We're all supposed to connect with each other. People of all different avenues, ways of life, points of views, you know, all different ethnicities and, you know, nationalities and skin tones and, you know, religions and backgrounds, you know, like we're all different. And, you know, I might be a Christian, a very strong Christian, but I'm not against having, you know, being friends with a Muslim and having a Muslim in my community. And, you know, like, you know, I'm very, my arms are open, my doors are open, my community is open to everyone. And even though we might have differences, I feel to me it's very important that everyone is welcome here and that we all feel safe to express ourselves openly and genuinely, respectfully, right? You know, because again, I have very strong opinions, points of views and on things, and I'm always going to express those things, but I still have an open mind. And even if I completely disagree with you, I'm going to try my best not to be disrespectful, and not to be hateful, and not to be belittling and things like that, you know. And like, I just think it's very important for a place to exist in the world, especially these days, where differences can live together. We're in such a state these days where everybody thinks you have to think the same way about everything, and you have to feel the same way about everything, and you have to have the same viewpoints and the same opinions. And the thing is, that's never gonna happen. That's a fantasy. That's La La Land. That's fairy book. We're human. We're all different, and we're always going to be. And everybody has a reason for why they think how they think and feel how they feel, why they see things how they see it. And you're not always going to get through to everybody. And life wouldn't be that cool if everyone was exactly the same anyways. You know, variety is the spice of life. The fact that we're different is beautiful, because the fact that we're different, if we can learn to love each other regardless of the differences, is what makes life worth living, because it's a beautiful thing to look. You and me are completely different, but I still love you, and we're still best friends, and we're still buddies, and we might bicker, and we might disagree, and we might go back and forth, and we might freaking get on each other's nerves sometimes. But you're a person and I'm a person, and I love you. You know what I mean? And even though I don't get you, or even though I don't agree, I understand. You know what I mean? I understand that's how you feel. That's what you think. You know? I just think that's important. That has to exist, especially these days. And that's my whole point as an artist or a creator or whatever you want to call me, is I'm trying to create a place. I'm trying to create an environment through the things that I do that breeds that space. That space where people can come together, people can love each other and care about each other and be there for each other and uplift each other and still be different. You know, we can have the same sensibilities. It doesn't mean that we have to have, you know, we have to view everything else the same way. You know what I mean? We're all good people. We're all sensitive. We're all emotional. We're all spiritual. You know, we're all sincere. We're all genuine. You know, we all have the best intentions at heart. Yeah, we disagree sometimes, but we're all good people. And that's why we deserve to be together. That's why we deserve to be here for each other. That's why we deserve to care about each other. That's why we deserve to love each other. That's why we need each other. Because even though we're different, we're good people. And good people need good people. Because let me tell you something. In 35 years of life, having gone through so many friends and acquaintances and people who I used to know and are now strangers, people that I used to love and I now hate, and this and that, it's hard to find good people in the world. It's not easy. Everybody portrays themselves as a good person, but listen, you can only wear a mask for so long. I'm not even talking about this COVID crap, but you can only wear that mask for so long. Eventually, everybody's true colors, everybody's true intentions, everybody's true personality comes out eventually. And this is where you see people getting exposed. But when you're a truly good person, it's hard, because you're a truly good person and you're constantly being the best you can be for other people, and then constantly being let down when you realize that these people who you've been giving your 100% were only giving you 50, 40, 30, 10. And you realize it's a hard life for people like us, because we're constantly being let down. We're constantly feeling backstabbed. You know, we're constantly disappointed by the people that we thought were sincerely there for us in our lives. And so, regardless of our differences, if we're good people, we need to be there for each other, regardless of each other's differences. We've got to stop hating each other for points of views and opinions and difference of feelings. We've got to stop that, man. Because I know you feel how you feel and you think what you think because you have the best intentions, because you're a good person. I'm a good person too. Why can't we just disagree? Why can't we agree to disagree and still love each other and still be there for each other? Because God, it's so hard to find sincere, genuine people. And even if we're not the same, at least we're that. At least we're genuine and sincere with each other. And that's a big deal. Even a bigger deal than agreeing on every little thing, in my opinion. I think just being a good person and being there for other good people is a lot more important than agreeing with them on everything. People are scared of the truth. Yes, they are. There are people that do get triggered about, you can't say that because that's how I feel. I sometimes think that there is an argument between feelings versus logical facts. That's truth. But I do want to know what you think about it. It is. Because the thing about it is feelings aren't logical, right? Feelings are not logical. And this is something that people are failing to understand a lot these days, is feelings are not logical, right? Feelings are things that you feel regardless of logic, right? For instance, I'll bring up Diane's friend again. This man, I already told you, he's abusive to her mentally and physically. She thinks she loves him. She feels like she loves him. You don't love this man who's putting his hands on you and verbally abusing you and belittling you and putting you down and making you feel like the lowest, smallest peon on the face of the earth, that you're under his freaking finger, under his freaking boot like a cockroach. You love this person and you think he loves you. That's just a feeling, and that feeling is not logical, right? Now, if you viewed the facts, this man beats me, he kicks me out every other day, he's constantly freaking attacking me with insults and calling me out of my name and breaking me down and then kicking me when I'm down and hurting me in so many different ways. If you focused on those facts, you would realize that the feelings of love you have for him and the fact that you feel like he loves you is false. It's not real. It's not true. It's all fake. It's all just emotional feelings that you have, and you're attached to those feelings. But if you make the decision based on truth, you'll realize you don't belong with this person and this person doesn't deserve you, right? That's the difference between facts and feelings, you know? And it is an argument between feelings, logics, facts, and truth. You're not being logical when you're completely basing everything off of feelings, because it's easy to be angry, it's easy to be sad, you know, and it's easy to stick to those feelings and completely act based on that. It's easy, but it's hard to face the truth, you know. It's easy to deny the facts. It's hard to accept them, especially when those facts go against what you think and what you feel. Because feelings can be very strong, but you need to fight those feelings and understand that truth is what matters. Truth shall prevail over everything else. It should always be truth. You should always base things in the facts and be logical. You know what I mean? You gotta be logical about things in life, and you just, you know, a lot of the issues going on in our country, especially right now, is all based on feelings and with very little fact involved. And you know, I've had discussions with people, and when I bring up the facts, they get mad because the truth hurts, like we've been talking about. And you don't always want to hear the truth because the truth is often ugly. But facts are facts, you know. So facts cannot be erased by feelings. But feelings can be erased by facts. You get what I'm saying? Because facts are infinite. Facts don't change because facts are truth, and the truth is always the truth. because truth is something that is not interchangeable. You know, truth is something that cannot be transformed. The truth is always the truth. If it's sincere, genuine truth, the truth is the truth. It can't be changed. But feelings can be changed, because feelings are not based on anything except for empathy. And feelings can be manipulated. You can make somebody think and feel things. But then when you know the facts, your feelings should change based on those facts. Your opinions, your points of views should change based on those facts. They just should. Because the truth will never change, so the truth will never steer you wrong. But feelings will steer you wrong. Just because you feel that this person who abuses you loves you, because they say they love you and they manage to manipulate your feelings into thinking they love you and making you think that you love them as well, what are you going to do? You're going to stay with this person and continue to be beaten and abused? And then what? You're going to marry this person, and then what? Who knows? Maybe one day the abuse goes too far and it ends up being the last beat of your heart. It ends up being the last breath that you take. And this person puts you in a casket. All because you base everything on those feelings instead of on the fact that this person is not right for you. And you could have changed your feelings based on those facts, went on, moved on, continued, had a long, beautiful, wonderful life, found the right person who doesn't abuse you and truly, sincerely, genuinely loves you, and had a wonderful life. That's the difference between facts and feelings. I'm going to unlock my front door real quick because Diane should be getting off work soon, and I don't want to get up and unlock the door for her when she gets here. I want her to just come in. But I hope you get what I'm saying. I hope I'm making sense. I hope you're understanding. Because it's very, very important. And I feel like, man, as a nation, as a world, but as a nation, we need to stop. We need to stop holding so strongly to our feelings and what we think in our head, because we don't know it all, and feelings are often wrong, and they can be manipulated. They can be deceived, and they can be deceiving. And sometimes you can manipulate yourself because you hold too strongly to your feelings, you know? I know, man. I love having these discussions too. But all right, before Diane gets here, let's get back to the freaking game. I mean, I could ramble on with other topics, and the biggest topic I love talking about is science versus religion. Oh man. Crimson, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. I'm trying to get back to the gameplay. I'm trying to get back. Listen, there's no science versus religion. All right? There's no science versus religion. A lot of people, well, I mean, okay. You can deny religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe in faith, right? I don't have a religion. I have a relationship with God. I believe in God, but I don't necessarily believe you have to label yourself or go to a building to have a relationship with God and to, you know, whatever. So I'm not religious, right? I'm not religious in the technical sense of the term religious, but I am very faithful and I am a very strong Christian. Now, if you want to say, you know, that, you know, science doesn't prove that religion is wrong, right? Because there's many different ways you could think about it. For some people, they become better people because of religion. But then there's the opposite argument. Well, there's a lot of horrible things that happen in the world because of religion as well. And both are true. Both are facts. So you can't really base on that, because you're being more scientific when you say, you know, well, a lot of horrible things happen across the world based on religion. Yeah, that's true. And you can put the statistic up statistics up, and it will show that bad things do happen in the world because of religion. But bad things happen in the world because of a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? And then not only that, you're also being scientific when you say, oh, well, religion saves a lot of lives. And that's true too. You can put stats up of people who have been saved by religion and changed their lives and become better people. And you know what I mean? And so like both are true. Now, if you want to debate that, science versus God, that's a different thing. All right. Science versus God is a completely different thing. What you're saying now is science. Some people believe that science proves that we came out of just chaos and poof, we came out of a statistical anomaly, 1 in a cajillion chance that we would exist, and it just so happened to happen. But just like the argument of science versus religion, there's a lot of statistical data that also proves that there's no way we happened by accident. 1 in cajillion chance? There are many scientists now who are starting to admit, and not even just now, but Einstein himself would say that the more he learns about the universe, the more he's starting to the more he was starting to come to terms with the idea that there had to be a designer, because everything is too perfect. When you mathematically equate everything, the universe, the stars, the planets, the earth, the land, the water, the molecules, the atoms, the everything, the eons, the ions, the protons, the everything, down to a molecular level, everything is too perfect, way too perfect. Did you know that if the salt levels in the ocean weren't exactly how they are, the salt levels in the ocean weren't exactly to the smallest fraction what they are in our ocean, then we could not exist on this planet? That is how precise everything is. Okay? And then there's geometry, right? There's geometry in our world. When you look at snowflakes, when you look at patterns on like snails and leaves and plants, flower petals, leaves, all kinds of different things. There are patterns throughout our world. You cut a tree in half, there's a pattern in there. There's so many different geometrical patterns that scientists are saying this is proof that this is not chaos, because in chaos, there's nothing would be geometrical. In chaos, you don't have perfection come out of chaos. And a lot of things are not perfect. But our universe is, because we couldn't exist if it wasn't. The position of our planet is perfect, and it literally has to be. And science is coming to terms with this, because the more they learn about it, about how things work, the more they mathematically equate how we exist, the more they're coming to terms with the fact that everything is so perfect that we could not have come out of chaos. And if we didn't come out of chaos, that means that we were fabricated. Fabrication means that we were designed. And if we're designed, that means there's a designer, which means we were created, which means there is a creator. Something that lives outside of space and time. Something that exists outside of our reality. Okay? Something that we can't see, we can't touch, we can't hear, has to exist. Some kind of consciousness. Right? Science is starting to recognize that consciousness exists outside of the body. Okay? When we die, our consciousness still exists. They're trying to figure out how we can take that consciousness and continue it, effectively making ourselves immortal, right? Because what are we? Are we our bodies, or are we our consciousness? What makes us us? A lot of scientists believe, well, it's our consciousness. It makes who we are. Our bodies are just a shell, just a vessel, just a vehicle, but we are our consciousness. And a lot of scientists have figured out that our consciousness is actually separate from our body, and when we die, our consciousness actually still exists. That opened up the question of, well, then where does the consciousness go? Maybe heaven or hell. You get what I'm saying? And if our consciousness can exist outside of our body, does that mean that consciousness is something that just exists floating in the ether? So if consciousness exists in the ether, then couldn't a consciousness exist out there at a level that is far surpassed our own understanding? And could this consciousness have existed before the universe? Because it doesn't seem that the consciousness exists in a physical plane. It doesn't need a physical plane. It doesn't need Earth to live on. It doesn't need a universe, a galaxy to live in. It just exists. Doesn't that sound like God? And a lot of scientists these days are starting to admit that we're getting very close to the understanding that there's most likely some type of divine consciousness that created all this. Because the more we learn, the less likely it becomes that this is all just an accident, that it just happened accidentally, just poof, and everything was just so perfect. Like a huge chunk of the scientific community is starting to admit that the idea that we just were lucky is highly unlikely and very illogical. And a big chunk of the scientific community is starting to say that the scientific community is just stuck on the feeling, the nostalgia that we believe we came out of nothing, and that they just can't admit to themselves, regardless of the evidence, regardless of the facts, that we most likely were created by something. Something most likely made us. We most likely, according to the data, we most likely did not just poof out of chaos. We most likely didn't just, out of nowhere just come to be for no reason, accidentally, because it's just so unlikely that it's pretty much almost impossible that we happened by accident. And so again, I love science. I've always loved science since I was a kid. Elementary school, science was always my best subject. I always did the best in science. That's always the class that I got the highest grades in. It was always the most intriguing, the most interesting to me. I love science, but I don't believe that it's science versus religion. I believe it's scientists versus religion, and science is actually trying to tell us God exists. Look at everything. Continue to search. Continue to figure everything out. The more you're figuring out, the more you're starting to realize that God probably exists, huh? Oh, but you don't like that idea. You don't like that? So you're gonna keep denying it. I'm just gonna keep showing you that God probably exists. Something out there, some kind of higher, powerful consciousness created you, you know, but you could keep denying it. I'm just going to keep showing you that you're intelligent design, and everything around you is intelligent design. You can keep denying it if you want. You know, that's what I believe. That's what it seems like. Because, dude, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of thinking about this. And yeah, the more and more they learn, the more scientists are realizing, yo, I think God exists, bro. Yo, I think God exists. Hey, homie, I think God is real. Like, it's literally starting to get like that. It's a lot of scientists are believing in God these days. Not necessarily the God that's in a book, right? The one that I believe in, which is the Holy Bible and Jesus Christ. Not necessarily Muhammad, not necessarily Moses, or, you know, Eli, or, you know, whoever it is. You know, who to the, you know, not necessarily those people, right? But a God, right? When you say God, a lot of people, the Christian Bible pops up in their head. But a lot of people forget that God is a title, you know, and basically all that it means is a being out there that you cannot see, that you cannot touch, who is directly responsible and in control of existence, and you know, as a whole, something that existed before everything else and kind of helped all that is to be. That's what God is, right? And yeah, through their findings, science is starting to come to an understanding that God does most likely exist. It really does.